Well, happy or good mid morning, folks. So I'm not in my robe. So I had a variety of things that I was doing this morning and just did not get to my video while I was having coffee. So I'm having tea now. So hopefully you'll still catch this in the morning or whenever you're watching during the day. It'd be interesting down the road to kind of see when people are watching. It's too new for me to get any of that information on the analytics. So, but welcome. It is Monday, September 15th now, and again mid morning. So here where I am. So speaking of analytics, I'm making a format change. I am going to move the analytic information to the end of the video. And I'm also summing it up where I've already pulled my numbers so that I can move through that a little more quickly. I have to admit that after watching yesterday's video, day 5, I was like, oh, this is taking too long in the morning or first thing in the beginning of the video, and I'd rather talk about the discussion as you probably do as well, unless you're an analytics person. And I know a lot of people like to see analytics, especially for new channels, because there's so many of us in that position. So it's nice to kind of put everything in perspective of what you're doing. But the analytics are still going to be here. They're just going to be at the end of the video. So just a heads up on that. So let's get to the discussion for today. So yesterday I said that I felt like I had not done a very good job of referencing the life well lived in my videos on the main channel, which is aka Sweet Melba. This channel, if you're new, is kind of the commentary discussion of being a new YouTuber and development, research, education, changes in direction and whatnot. So that's what this channel is. So anyway, so yesterday I had said that I kind of felt like I had not done a good job of referencing the broad focus of my main channel, which is A Life Well Lived. So I did have some time yesterday to kind of do a layout and a script, really. Now it's more of a layout, more of an outline. I'm not writing a full script. I'm writing an outline. So, anyways, but I know a lot of people reference that as a script or do scripts. And, anyways, but that's what I'm doing is kind of an outline of what I'm talking about in that video. And so I was able to do that yesterday afternoon, and it was pretty eye opening. And then I thought, I think I'm going to do some filming on this and see how it goes. And it was kind of a struggle, I have to say. But there is a silver lining in this. So hold on, I'm getting there. So I outlined, again, if I was to do a new intro video to the channel, because I did one that was my first video, which really focused, I think, more on, life reflection in your 50s, because I'm 50 something. So I really didn't talk much, if at all, about the life well lived. So anyway, so I looked at yesterday as if I was to do a new intro video and focus really on a life well lived, what would that be? What would I be talking about? What were some of the key components of that then would relate to the videos to come or the videos I have already done. So that's how I kind of laid it out yesterday. And again, I had done some work on looking at keywords and phrases, and that was yesterday's video, kind of how I had been using the trends and the inspiration to kind of look at what some of those keywords were and what people were searching for, things of that nature. So that's kind of how I laid out this new intro video yesterday. And it really was, like I say, kind of eye-opening, because what I really kept writing was this, I guess, aspect of self-assessment or a review of your life, which is, that's what I already had in mind, in looking back at a life well lived. And as I mentioned yesterday, I think a life well lived is, individual to each individual person. I mean, there's no, rule written out on a paper. Here are the things you have to consider. I mean, everybody makes that determination on their own. And that's really what I wanted to do in the channel, was focusing on those what I felt was a life well lived from my personal perspective, and then sharing my thoughts, experiences, lessons learned along the way, and really kind of a review of what I've done, what I haven't done, things of that nature. So, but when I laid it out yesterday, in order to do a video specifically on that discussion of what is a life well lived and what the channel was going to be focusing on, a lot of it really just came down to everybody's individual self assessment, uh, people's, including myself, uh, consideration of what's important to them, both personally, in their actions in the community, career, all those finance, all those different things. So again, very similar to what I was already thinking, because there's so many activities in your life, that was the challenge with the sub niche. Was there? It's not just one area of your life is what defines a life well lived. So the outline was really helpful in finding some key components to that discussion, which again was really that self assessment, um, evaluating those things that you feel are important in a life well lived, personal development. What are you still wanting to improve on in your life? What do you want to continue doing? What had you hoped to do that you haven't, and how might you find steps or activities to help you move along in that goal or vision that you have? And so it just really, again, just kind of boiled down to this. And I was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. That whole self-assessment evaluation component. And as I was outlining it, it was really kind of this progress report, or initially I was thinking report card, right? But anyway, it was refreshing and it was helpful. So I thought, well, you know what? Let me give it a try. I'm going to do some videoing and see how this lays out. And it was a struggle, as I said. I was having a hard time articulating it, which hopefully I'm not having as much time, a harder time today, but I was having a hard time articulating it in the video. And I felt like I was kind of saying the same thing. And so that was helpful to kind of say, okay, I've already said that. But it was, again, thought provoking in the whole uh, evaluation and the self assessment and whatnot. And that kind of stuck with me the rest of the day. So, the interesting and funny thing, and I don't know, maybe some of you have done this, I'd love to hear in the comments. But so I do this video yesterday afternoon, and I get done, and I get up and I go over to the stand and going to turn it off, and it's already off. And I'm like, what? Why is this off? Well, somehow when I started talking, I didn't press the start button on the video. So I was like, so that was probably a, 30-minute filming thing of start, stop, that kind of thing. But I was like, okay, well, maybe there's a lesson there that I needed to practice it once, and there's no raw footage of that. So, especially since I was struggling with it. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe this is meant to be. This is supposed to be recorded again. So, but I had to laugh at that. I was like, what? Where did it go? And I thought, oh, that was a really good thing I said. I wonder if I remember I can say that again. So, anyways, like I say, if you've done that before, I'd be interested to hear. So it was pretty funny. So I was like, okay, let's do this again. So I have to say, the second time around, as with most things, right? The second time around was a lot smoother. I think it was a little more concise. I kind of thought about some of those things that I had said the first time around, and was able to recollect the brilliant phrase that I thought I had and whatnot to get in the second version. So I did that. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I haven't watched it. So I don't know if I'm going to use that or not, but I think it was a good lesson in both, like I say, doing the outline or script, however you refer to those, and practicing, right? Right. So anyway, so that's kind of how that went yesterday. But then somewhere during the middle of the night, maybe early this morning, uh, it occurred to me, after thinking about how that whole episode went yesterday, I thought, self-assessment, self-assessment. I'm thinking, I don't think I really looked at it like that. I was thinking of it more of sharing things that I thought were important in my evaluation of a life well lived, but I hadn't really narrowed down on that self-assessment, personal development kind of a component. So I was like, I need to look into that. So that's part of the reason why I'm late today. So this morning, while I was having my coffee, I was looking at this, and interestingly enough, here's what I found. So personal development is uh, a niche, and it's pretty broad because it covers a lot of areas, right? But the sub niche, one of the sub niches, is the self assessment. And I was like, oh, well, now this kind of changes things a little bit. So, I think the culmination of the past 6 days and the processing and researching and thinking and sharing with the channel here on Melba's Gone Rogue has got me to the point I'm at today on day 6, which is, my niche is probably not lifestyle, it's probably personal development. And the sub niche is the self assessment in the overall component of what you think is a life well lived. So, interesting process. So, I was kind of pleased with that. So, I'm feeling a little more, I guess, grounded, I guess, and kind of feeling like maybe I do have, a sub niche that I can work with and develop more. So, all good, I think. All good. And then the other thing that I want to talk about this morning, hold on a sec here, was one of the things again that I mentioned yesterday was I was talking about, having done all the keyword searching and everything and looking at the trends and inspirations. Anyways, one of the things I had mentioned in the video yesterday was, I'm putting the hashtags in the description, and that I didn't know if those were really helpful or not, or if the algorithm was picking up just the description words, the keywords in the description, and obviously the title. And they picking up the hashtags to help with, who are they showing the video to in terms of interest levels and stuff. So I looked that up this morning too. And again, the benefits of looking stuff up and research, I found that the tags that are in the setup for your video, that the algorithm tends to, I guess, use those more in serving up to different people's interest levels, and that the hashtags in the description are more for the viewer. So for the algorithm in YouTube, obviously the title and keyword in the title, the description they're looking at. I guess in some way they're also looking at, the video content too. I don't know. But that tags falls in there. It falls down lower on the list, but that tags does fall in there somehow, I guess. And I have never used tags. So again, maybe another lesson learned. We'll see. More to come on that topic. But so I was like, I'm going to go in and on my AKA Sweet Melba channel, I'm going to put in the tags. And so I did that this morning too. So again, why I'm late. So I did that too. So it may not make any difference. And when you look at YouTube, it's a mixed bag, I guess, but primarily a lot of people say it doesn't matter at all, but they're in there now and I'm going to use them and we'll see. We'll see if it makes any difference. And I went back and put them on the videos I've already done and going forward. And I also am going to go put them on my husband and I's travel channel and see where that goes, because that's a year old. And I don't know if it'll make, again, any difference or not. But anyway, I don't know. So maybe we'll see. So the analytics may give some insight on that. So again, some good discoveries, some new, I guess, like I said, comfort level, and maybe I do have a niche and a sub niche kind of thing. So yeah. And then I think doing the video yesterday and kind of working through that outline was helpful. So I'm going to go back and look at that, but I haven't watched the video, so we'll see. We'll see where that goes in doing that. But yeah, so that's all good stuff, I think. Okay, so again, I think all good stuff. Continuing to learn new things. So we'll see if any of this, like I say, on the tags piece makes any difference or not. I'll let you know. So I think that does it for the discussion for this morning. So now I'm going to move into the analytics. And as I said, I've already pulled up those numbers. And so I'm going to do this as a summary. So it moves along a little bit quicker. I may try to see if I can get something on the screen. That may be down the road too. So let me, and I'm just opening my laptop so that I can have a place to set my little notes. Okay, so the analytics on the AKA Suite Melba, and I'm going to start with that. And I'll do the Melba's Gone Rogue, but I'm thinking I don't know, I may take that off. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. But anyway, so analytics for the AKA Suite Melba as of this morning, which is day 6 for that. So there are 5 videos and 5 shorts. The total views have been 767. And that channel's been up for 5 weeks, I think it is now. And the average view duration, the average across all the videos and the shorts, is just shy of 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 53 seconds, which is a 39% average view of those. So not in the, 50 to 60 is kind of what I've seen mostly on what's recommended for, a good annual view duration. So, but, just shy of 40%, not bad. The number of subscribers is 3. And, I don't know if you have noticed, but I've not seen any changes in subscribers on either of these 2 channels or my husband and I's channel. So I don't know if that's a thing going on right now or not, but anyway. And then the click-through rate is 5.4%. So in the relatively good range, I guess, which is like a 4 to 7%. So not too bad there. Happy with that. And then total watch hours is 11 hours. 11 hours. I won't, not even, that's not a roundup on that one. So, so that's the analytics for the AKA Sweet Melba account. And then for this channel, the Melba's Gone Rogue. So there's been 5 videos. And that video, the day 5 video, I uploaded again last night about 8 o'clock. So I think that may be my new time frame. So anyway, total number of views is 31. The average view duration is 6 minutes, 41 seconds, which is a 29% average on the average view duration. So lower than the main channel. And this is only day 6 for this channel. So, and then the number of subs here is 2. The click-through rate for Melba's Gone Rogue is 4%. And the total watch hours so far are 3.4 hours. So that is the analytics for these 2 channels. And then I did want to just pull out a couple noteworthy items on the AKA Sweet Melba channel. So there again are 5 videos. I didn't look at the shorts. I'll do that another time. But the 5 videos. So my high average view duration is a 68% on my early retirement video that I did. So that's pretty good. And then the second in that category of the best average view duration is my Cracker Barrel restaurant video, which was life lessons we can learn from the Cracker Barrel restaurant, because I love Cracker Barrel and all of the hubbub and everything about that. It really made me start thinking about, why do I like Cracker Barrel so much? So that's what that video is about. So some really good points about what I think are aspects of a life well lived. So anyway, so that one got 51% average view duration. So not too bad. And then the next one, the next highest is a 27%, 26%, and a 22%. So click rate, though, noteworthy on click rate, I have 2 at 13%. So that is my first video that I did, which was really kind of the intro video about being 50 something and just the things we're considering when we're in our 50s, looking back on experiences and lessons learned. What are the topics of today? Like I say, early retirement. For us, kind of looking at full retirement, things of that nature. So anyway, that has a 13% click-through rate. And the Cracker Barrel had a 13% click-through rate also. And then the other ones, the next was a 6%, almost 3%, and then the retirement one, interestingly, 1%. Not good. But that's the one with the higher average view duration. Anyway, and let's see. The most views of my videos so far is my video on Burning Man. And again, another life well lived experience. So if you're gone to Burning Man or you're interested in going to Burning Man, you might want to watch that video. And that's 17 views. The second is 8 views of the Cracker Barrel video. And then I also wanted to look at the impressions. So for me, I'm hoping I'm getting this right, but for me, that is kind of, how much is YouTube putting my video out there to people? So the Burning Man one got the most impressions at 305, which I kind of wasn't surprised, because I hit that right about the middle of Burning Man week was when I put that out. And then second to that is the early retirement video, which was 84 impressions. And then we dropped down to 64, a 46, and a 40. So anyway, so those are the analytics on the AKA Sweet Melba and on the Melba's Gone Rogue. So I would love, for those of you that are watching, I'd love to, hear some comments, and hopefully if you like the video, you give it a thumbs up, if you share it, but I'd love to get some new subscribers too. So anyways, it was, I think, a good day yesterday and good thought process for today. And we'll see what tomorrow holds. So I will see you tomorrow for day 7. Day 7. So a full week. So we'll see how things go. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm Sweet Melba.